After a good night's rest, comfortable tour buses will take us to our visit in Paş, Hungary. It is a short distance from our docking in Mohacs. The four towers of the Basilica of Paş dominate the view over this city in the southwest corner of Hungary. Dedicated to St. Peter, the basilica sits atop a small hill near the city's center area. The basilica is surrounded by lovely park areas, and stone walkways meander down the hillside towards the city center. When the Ottomans invaded, many Hungarian churches were converted to mosques. The Gaza Kazim Mosque was built in the 16th century, but it was reclaimed when the Turks were ousted and is now known as the Mosque Church. Its official name, the Inner Town Parish Church, doesn't seem to give credit to the architectural mixture of religions and cultures found here. A number of streets converge below the Mosque Church. Brightly tiled rooftops give the city a Mediterranean atmosphere. Architectural styles are varied and intermingled. In 2010, Paş deservedly was given the rotating title, the cultural capital of Europe. An exciting and very visual tradition started in the city of Paş in the early 1980s. It was a sign of solidarity between many student couples trying to cope with their demanding studies and maintain their relationships. This colorful area of hanging locks symbolizes the true love of the couples. They make a love lock. They engrave their names onto a padlock or improvise one, lock it here, and throw the key away, usually into the river. The city of Paş attracts visitors who enjoy its cultural, historical relics and its special style. For us, that style included an ice cream stop. On a warm, sunny afternoon, it was delightful to enjoy the ambiance of the pedestrian zone and people watch for a while. This area of Hungary is well known for its vineyards. Our stop in Vidin will be a chance to see a bit about this modern production facility. Stainless steel is used in lieu of oak barrels. It's the very latest in modern techniques and becoming well accepted around the world. Of course, part of our visit will include a presentation of a white and a red wine from their popular labels. Along the docking area of our ship, an impromptu craft market has developed. Who could resist a little open-air shopping and a chance to see the artisans at work on their handmade items? The small Croatian river town of Vukovar is an emotional stop along our journey of discovery. Vukovar, known as the hero town after its 3-month siege in 1991, was at the center of the civil war between the Serbs and Croats in this former Yugoslavia. At the mouth of the Danube and the river Vuka is the Memorial Cross, a monument to that conflict and its many victims. Carved out of stone and over 31 feet tall, it weighs 4 tons. The cross and the many candles and floral displays are a dramatic and somber reminder. Vukovar is the largest port city of Croatia, and the city has long had a highly mixed population of different ethnicities, including large numbers of ethnic and Serbs. The 30,000 people who remain in the city live together nonviolently and with hope for a better tomorrow. After the draining 4-year civil war and the subsequent occupation by Serbia, the repairs are slow. The progress made still contrasts with the all-too-evident bullet, shell, and bomb damage. According to some estimates, Serbian gunners fired up to 1 million shells into Vukovar. It was the first European city virtually destroyed since World War II. In 2003, Croatia applied for membership in the European Union, and additional funds are becoming available. More tourists are arriving to further help the rejuvenation of Vukovar. Still, the economy is struggling. The city market is busy and stocked with a variety of items along its narrow lanes. Food is in good supply. Fresh vegetables and flowers are there for the buyer. But money is often in short supply. An only slightly used can of WD-40 is a viable sale item. There is something here to fix about any job. It may be used, but it works. Vukovar's population has always been quite diverse. With 28 ethnic groups before the war, it had a long cultural history. The returning businesses and busy sidewalk cafes are evidence of the hope her people have for its eventual restoration as an important regional center. We are now cruising east, where the Danube is the border between Hungary and Serbia. The ship's bridge is the domain of our very congenial captain. The AmaDante is 360 feet long and made her debut in 2008. The ship has all the latest in technology to make the cruising easier and safer for Captain Tilstra. He explains the various features and capabilities of the ship as we enjoy the broad 180-degree view. On deck, the friendly crew members help with the mandatory safety drill and a fun checkout of life jackets. It's a casual but serious business. It's a little hard to get too serious about it with the beautiful shore so invitingly close. Whether above deck or from the inside, the views are memorable. Relaxation is the order of the day, and the gift shop is open. We enjoy a river view of Petrovaradin Fortress as we enter the city of Novi Sad. It is a city of 270,000 and is the second largest city in Serbia. Located right on the banks of the Danube, we are able to dock within easy walking distance of the center of town. In the 19th century, Novi Sad was the capital of Serbian culture, earning the nickname of Serbian Athens. The pedestrian streets are delightful to stroll in the late afternoon. Sidewalk cafes will soon fill with patrons. McDonald's is popular here, as it is most everywhere in Europe. We have time for a city tour and some street shopping. The high towers of the Catholic Cathedral of Holy Mary are visible from the entire town. Built in Neo-Gothic style in 1895, it is recognizable by its high clock tower. They say that the weather can change quickly here. Today, they were right. A sudden downpour presents a bit of excitement for our afternoon. Some serious clouds are dumping with a vengeance, and yet not everyone seems impressed, even by the impromptu waterfall. Our arrival into Belgrade is under clear and sunny skies. This lovely capital of Serbia is also its cultural and economic capital. It is one of the oldest cities in Europe, dating to the 4th century BC. The lovely parks that are sprinkled throughout the city add a special charm and foster a relaxed lifestyle. Displays of art are another way to experience the culture of Serbia. This large area of paintings and photos features scenic places within the country. Small groups, mostly the men, gather to while away the sunny day playing cards, chess, or perhaps a game of backgammon. On this warm summer afternoon, many Belgrade residents have found the perfect spot to set up shop. The choices are varied and the quality of the handmade items excellent. Throughout the centuries, Belgrade has been home to many nationalities. An interesting and visual way to learn about her culture is a stop at the Ethnographic Museum. Explanations are in English, and a small shop sells examples of the crafts. The costumes, clothing from every walk of life, show a superb quality of weaving and embroidery. The colors use natural dyes of russet browns, wine reds, and muted yellows. Several displays of room interiors are furnished to reflect various periods of time and different communities. Much of the top floor of this excellent museum displays agrarian tools and equipment, worn and grooved with years of use. Orthodox Christian Serbs make up about 90% of the 1.7 million population of Belgrade. The Cathedral of St. Sava is the largest Orthodox Serbian church building in the world. From its location, it dominates Belgrade's cityscape. The church structure is still under construction. The cathedral has a surface area of almost 38,000 square feet and can hold 10,000 worshipers at any one time. Back aboard ship, we are treated to exciting Serbian music and folk dance. After leaving Belgrade, the Danube River begins to narrow and deepen. This is an 80-mile stretch separating the Carpathian Mountains from the Balkans. Known as the Iron Gate, the journey through these towering mountain ranges with the swift currents and strong winds is most impressive. It is the most spectacular natural sight along the Danube River. In some places, the sheer rock walls rise to over 1,000 feet. The statue of Dacian king Decebalus is 131 feet high, making it the tallest rock sculpture in Europe. Once feared for its rapids and cataracts, the infamous channel was tamed by the construction of the Iron Gate Dam in 1970. Until 1973, ships had to be dragged upstream by locomotive. The current is still strong, but the water level today 115 feet higher than before the dam was built. Considered to be the most important part of the dam's development is the gigantic Dunlap hydroelectric power station. It was inaugurated in 1964 and completed in 1972, known as Iron Gate 1. It is shared equally by Serbia and Romania. It is one of the largest in the world and perhaps one of the most scenic. It is a marvelous journey in sight, sound, motion, and sheer grandeur to move through these locks. The main mast is lowered or raised according to the height of the bridges and overcrossings along the way. At every port in each of the 6 countries we visit, we will have local entertainment. This young lady is Bulgaria's national champion on their national instrument, the gadolka. Vidin's main landmark, the Baba Vita Fortress, was built in different historical periods from the 3rd to the 14th century. The main body of the fortress of that time is preserved even today, including the main turrets and bastions, as well as the inner surrounding wall that connects them. It is close to the borders with Serbia and Romania. A museum exhibition is set into the wall of the fortress. The items are basic daily use items, simple but most interesting. Baba Vita was built upon the ruins of an old Roman fortified watchpoint, here in a strategic bend of the Danube. This was once the most important fort in Bulgaria. There is a theatrical scene from a play to enjoy, with dramatic performances. The historical plot brings Bulgarian history to life among the unique scenery. The plot is fairly basic and predictable. A king, a queen, a bad guy, betrayal, and deception. It did not have a happy ending. About 30 miles southwest of the town of Vidin are unique rock formations. They form a formidable strip which is almost 20 miles long and 9 miles wide. Large fortresses were part of the defense of this important area and the fertile farmlands surrounding it. Belogradchik Fortress was built among these difficult-to-access rocks when the Balkan Peninsula was in the borders of the Roman Empire. The Arch of Triumph, built in 1936, is a beautiful introduction to Bucharest, the capital and largest city of Romania. This historic cosmopolitan center is known for its belle-epic 19th century buildings, adding to its European flair. Wide tree-lined boulevards give testament to the city's former nickname, Little Paris of the East. The Parliament Palace, the world's largest palace, was built in the 1980s during the reign of the communist dictator. Currently the largest building in Europe, the colossal palace houses both branches of the Romanian parliament. To say that the interior is vast is an understatement. It has 1,100 rooms and is 12 stories tall. Room after room astounds with 480 chandeliers, 3,500 tons of crystal, 2,200,000 square feet of woolen carpets, and yet parts of the building have not been completed. The building also boasts one of the largest convention centers in the world and is often used for international meetings and conferences. The Palace of Parliament presents one of the most extravagant and expensive building projects in history. A trip to visit the village museum gives us a chance to see how the other half lived. It was founded by royal decree in 1936 and is the largest open-air museum in Europe. The steep-roofed peasant homes, thatch barns, windmills, log cabins, and churches are from all regions of the country. All the many houses, barns, and items were carefully taken apart, shipped to the museum, and rebuilt in order to recreate the authentic village setting. The diverse display covers some 30 acres on the shores of Lake Haristra. It features a collection of 50 buildings and endless trappings. This represents the history and design of Romania's rural architecture and culture. Luncheon at a lakeside restaurant is a chance to sample delicious Romanian food and enjoy delightful entertainment. Pushing the AmaDante are powerful Caterpillar engines, surprisingly quiet for their huge potential. The engine room is spotless and is testament to the care that is taken throughout the ship. Time spent cruising is a chance for an afternoon latte and perhaps a little reading. Cabins aboard the AmaDante are elegant in design and contain all the amenities to make the voyage comfortable and relaxing. The galley is where the dinner magic takes place. The chef supervises a competent staff in preparing our delicious meals. Remember, leave room for dessert. Dinners are always an occasion, but served in a casual, relaxed setting. Our journey by ship is at an end as we head by motor coach through lush farmlands to the ancient capital of Bulgaria, Veliko, Turnovo. Zarovets Hill was the citadel of the city. The construction of this northern Bulgarian stronghold was begun in the 12th century. With its capital here in Veliko, Turnovo, this fortress became the most important one in Bulgaria. The palace is located on the hill's highest central part and featured a throne room, a palace church, and a royal residential part. It encompassed almost 6,000 square yards. But today it has fallen by the way, and little is left. Below the fortress, the traditional market street winds through cobblestone walkways. Quaint shops, many with handmade items, line the pedestrian area. The different selection of items in this small area is impressive. The merchants are friendly and readily demonstrate their crafts. Plovdiv is the second largest city in Bulgaria and one of Europe's oldest. It literally has layers of history, with Roman ruins, Ottoman mosques, and sites dating to the 5th century BC. It has one of the area's most attractive and vibrant town centers, with shops and cafes lining the busy pedestrian zone. The ruins of a 2nd century Roman theater are situated in the city center of Plovdiv. The theater was built with around 7,000 seats under the orders of the Roman Emperor Trajan and is one of the many surviving Roman constructions in Bulgaria today. Tonight's dinner at a local restaurant is special. The food is plentiful and delicious, and the atmosphere an appealing touch of Bulgaria's traditional countryside dining. The entertainment tonight is not only traditional, it is vibrant, and the dancers exceptionally talented. You'll see all of this and more on an AmaWaterways River Cruise.